Well, hello there, my YouTube friends. I thought I would do something a little bit different because the weather's so bloody beautiful at the minute here in the UK. Even though it's May, you'd expect it not to be as good. And I know you probably won't be seeing this in May, but it's May right now when I'm recording this. I just thought I'd do something a little bit different, do it out in this beautiful weather rather than being cooped up in the man cave. I apologise for the fact that in the background you'll be able to see the washing out, but you know, that's life. Got to get it done while it's nice weather like this, you know. And of course you can see me little pooch, yeah, Bruno. He's not so small anymore now, he's not such a puppy anymore, even though he's only what, about 7.5 months old now at the minute. But I thought what we'll do is the last maybe 3 videos I'll record today, but I'll put them up over the series of a week like I normally do, you know, every 3 days or so. The first one we've got is Superman himself. So here's the box, like the way it's carrying on as it goes around. I know you can't actually make it out, but in there's actually a Superman logo just here. The warnings, choke hazards and what have you on the back. Again, it's the same continuation on of the picture with, again, in sort of, I don't know, because it's translucent, there is actually an S on here. And then the top of the box as Man of Steel. And so I'm going to get this thing lifted off or opened up and show you what we get with it. So let's have a look. It does actually open from the front, so that's pretty good. And of course you have on there the cast and crew that worked on this particular figure and the figure himself. Now I'm not going to lie to you guys, I do already own a Superman figure. As if possibly you've already think when I've mentioned before that I have sort of Superman, I have Wonder Woman, and I also have now got a Batman to make my own sort of mini Justice League figures up. So this one is to go with his father and General Zod. So I don't know how well you're going to be able to make him out there in a minute, but we're going to take it out, show you the accessories and go from there, guys, as we're normal. Okay then, guys, so here's what you're getting accessories wise. Not very much, I'm afraid, but then you never do get loads of stuff with these type of stuff. I do think that maybe if they'd put in a suit and a pair of glasses to go with Clark, to make him into Clark Kent, that would have been a brilliant way to do things. But you know, this is what you're getting, this is the way to do it. You don't need much if you're just doing it as Superman himself. You know, you do have the dynamic posing stand or flight stand, whichever you want to call it as. These ones I do like, because I do believe that with a sort of like sort of Superman and what have you, you want to either sort of hovering above the ground or flying or something like that, you know, rather than just stand there trying to look and posing. This thing, yeah, waist grabber, I do think are a lot better than the crotch grabbers, though you still obviously can't see these bits a lot of times around the waist area because they're being black. Maybe if they made them translucent it might sort of take away a little bit of that thingy, but I still believe you'd still see them and make them out. So either way, you know, these are better than the crotch grabbers. You have the spare wrist pegs, which I believe are always good to have. I've never had to use any myself, thankfully, but it is good to know that you've got spare there just in case. And it's better to have them than to not have them. And for what it would cost them to make them, you know, it's going to be next to nothing. And of course, Hot Toys, what are you doing to me, guys? You know, you've actually put a set of hands in, not just sort of mainly left hands or mainly right hands or what have you. You've actually put sets of hands in here. This is fantastic. Yeah, the levels of details to them is beautiful. I don't know how well you'll make it out through the actual camera lens here, you know, but in this sort of natural light I can see the veins in his hands and everything, you know, and I think they're pretty damn impressive. Let's see if I can bring it a bit closer without it losing focus. Yeah. I just think they're really sort of well made, well sculpted. Yeah, these sort of open hands, which are even more open than the rest of them, because they're all pretty much open hands on this particular figure. He doesn't need to grab a gun or anything, but I just think the actual fact that you can see the veins in his hands, so it's taken up to the level of detail that is absolutely crazy. You see the fingernails on there and that, and this is almost like a sort of a, where you would put your hands up to sort of almost stop somebody, you know. I just think they're really, really beautiful. And of course, you've got one for each side, and we also have this thing, the Kryptonian command key, and this of course is die cast, and the levels of details to it again are just phenomenal. I don't know what you would use it for when you're posing them, but you know, the fact that you've got it in there is just an added bonus, I suppose. For me, they could have put more stuff in that I would have used that would have been better than this thing itself, but it's there and I've got it, so that's pretty good, you know. And of course we have the base, which is absolutely a beautiful base. I mean, I absolutely love that. I think that it just looks great. You know me, I'm not particularly one for using bases, but if you're doing a dynamic pose where you're having them basically floating above somebody else, then you really are going to have, I think that's metal on the front of there with Man of Steel Superman written on. Yeah, and you do need this, and you do need a big area to hold them up, because it's sort of can be quite hefty. Yeah, and I think that is pretty damn good. I think it's pretty impressive. I really do like the colours in the way it's done, and the fact that it's raised and you can feel all the things to that, you know. I think that is really good. So that is what you're getting accessories wise, guys, you know. Like I say, not loads, but the fact that you get the full set of hands, and you've obviously got fisted hands on them at the moment, I think it's pretty damn good, you know, and I'm liking that right there. So that is good, though you can always wish for more. You know, everybody wishes for more, especially with the price you're paying out for these characters. Like I say, guys, the figure himself looks pretty damn good. You know, I'm not going to say it's the head sculpt is 100% Henry Cavill, because I think from certain angles it can look pretty damn impressive, from other angles it doesn't, which I'll show you in a moment. The uniform itself looks really, really good, but as per usual with these things, and I don't like using butts, because you know that when you see a butt, you've just got rid of whatever you've said before is washed away as being nothing. The uniform does look great, though you've got the issue of how well can you pose them, because you've got to worry, you know. I mean, I don't know how well you can make it out, but already there at the knees. Now I've obviously bought this on the second hand market. I don't know how much the person posed it before me, but you can see the gathering there, you know, when they've obviously had it bent, you know, which you can see it bends pretty well. I mean, you've got basically the double bend on it, but when you straighten it back out, you can see how it's sort of it's creased up, and I don't know how you get them out, because it obviously hasn't dropped out, because I've had this sitting in my bloody man cave for a good couple of months, and it's not, they haven't come out over that period of time. So the boots are just a material, thankfully, so you do get flexion, but it won't stay in any of those positions, for the simple fact is straight away the uniform is going to take it back to that position. Yeah, it has got some nice amount of give, sorry about arm, but again the uniform is going to bring it back down, and you're also going to have that unsightly gathering there. Yeah, the movement forward, backwards hasn't got much motion, but again you just got to be so careful, because the uniform isn't going to go too easily Yeah, his arm will come up. To a nice degree. Comes forward, but to get in that sort of stand, it's almost like he's going to be taken on flying. It's pretty damned hard, and again you've got a lot of bunching going on around the shoulder area, you know, so that would make it really sort of one of those poses that you wouldn't want to leave it in for too long, which is a shame, because that's the type of pose you want him in, for me, like in any way. So I'd want to be him like looking like he's flying. Yeah, you get a good range of motion on the elbow. Yeah, it has got motion at the bicep joint. Again, I'm just moving that back down. Thankfully it has fallen out, but you're going to get a bit of stretching. I think I would feel if you held it in any sort of position for too long, you're going to get a lot of stretching. The wrists twist, and does have flexion inward and outward, which is great. That's what you really do want with a figure. And head sculpt wise, you can look down fairly decently, but looking upwards, yeah, really you'd want him in a pose something like that, and obviously he just aren't going to get his head looking right up, which is such a shame, because that to me would be something that could really do with, you know, even if it's like the neck has a chance to move itself back a bit. You know, you want really for him to be in something like that type of position and looking upwards towards you, you know, which is such a shame you can't do that. That is as far up as his head's going to go. You know, a crying shame, because I would have loved to have put him in a pose where he looked like he was actually flying. You know, you have got side to side movement with it as well. So when you do that, you know, you're going to get sort of that an unsightly sort of thing there, but you do have that motion to it. Yeah, there you go, guys. So for me, beautiful looking piece. Whether you can see this is truly a good look like for Henry Cavill, I would say possibly not, but let's show you a close-up of his face. So then, guys, in summary, is this guy worth a purchase? For looks wise, I definitely see it's pretty damn good, pretty impressive. Yeah, if you can get him in a good pose, then I think you look even better again. And I'm supposing for myself, it depends on the price, guys. If you can pick this guy up at a reasonable price, like what I did, then yes, definitely well worth the purchase. I just wish Hot Toys could work out a way of making it so that the uniforms look the way they're supposed to look, but also have the maneuverability in them so that you can pose them dynamically and not have the worry when you eventually want to sell them on or what have you, that you're not going to have, that they're going to be basically like wrinkled up and stuff like that, you know. I think that's the one downfall with these things, yeah, is that when you make them this way, when they look so good and the uniforms are so tight on them, you know, you can actually see there he's got the full set of abs and that. It's just that's the one thing that sort of can spoil it slightly, is the fact is that you're wishing you could have the dynamic poses out of them without the worry of it degrading the suit, of it degrading the character. You know, that's the only one issue I think that they're ever going to have with these things, and I think it probably gets worse with certain types of material that they're having to use. But other than that, guys, I think he's well worth a purchase if you can get him at a decent price. You know, well worth it. Just wish the head sculpt was slightly better, because I still do not think that is like 100% Henry Cavill. It's definitely pretty good, but not as good as what I would have liked it to have been. Yeah, but there you go, guys. That's my interpretations of it. That's my thoughts on it. What do you guys think? What are your thoughts? Would you prefer that they could have them in more dynamic posability out of them, rather than having to be sort of stood something similar to that, so that you can keep them in good nick? How many of you buy them with the intention that you're going to sell them on? Yeah. Because I don't buy them with the intention of selling them on, but I do know that eventually my time on this earth will be over, and it will be over a lot faster than what it will be for a lot of other people. Yeah, for those of you that know, obviously I'm terminally ill with cancer, so I've got to make sure that I don't ruin these things, because it gives my wife then a chance to flog them on and help her out of any sort of financial thing she might be in. Other than that, guys, I think this is pretty good. I'm happy with it. Though I do know I already have one, and it's not one that I was sort of that bothered about. It's just like the other two characters I'm going to be unboxing. I got them at a really, really good price, so I went, hey, I'm not going to turn them down. Though I probably would part with them if somebody made us an offer that was too good to refuse, you know. If somebody really wanted them and wanted to give them a good home, and I would definitely be willing to part with them. But I think he's pretty damn good, and I'm going to give a go with posing up one of them to see just how well I can get it done. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate those that take the time to watch these things, even though they're older style figures. It means a lot to me. And guys, I will catch you in the next one. This is the Bearded Nerdy Oaf, and I'm out of here.
So what I believe you were trying to say is thank you.
Thank you?
You're welcome.
What? No. I didn't. I wasn't. Why would I ever say that? I mean,
Okay.